Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Aloha L'Yunin Rambam. We're learning today Hilchos Tzitzis. The Rambam says, Noshim va'avodim uktanim. This is in Pei Gimel, in middle of Aloha Tes. Noshim va'avodim uktanim ptunim min hatzitzis min haTorah. It's a mitzvah says שהזמן גרמא, because it says ur ise moisoi. So the chiyuv is only by day, so it's a mitzvah שהזמן גרמא. So ladies are not obligated. But nevertheless, umidivri chachomim shekol koton sheyidea liyisatev chayiv b'tzitzis kedei lechanchi b'mitzvahs. That there's a chiyuv chinuch. Then the Rambam says, here's a big machlekes of Sfardim and Ashkenazim. V'negei ha-mitzvah שהזמן גרמא. The Rambam paskins, noshim va'avodim sherotzu lisatev b'tzitzis misatfim b'lei brocha. That if a lady wants to put on tzitzis, she can make without a brocha. She can put it on without a brocha. We have this the machlekes in Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Rosh Hashanah. If ladies could make asher kedeshana b'mitzvahs of the tzibona l'shmei kel shofar, Sfardim don't make a bracha. The ladies don't make a bracha lulav and esrik because it's a mitzvah שהזמן גרמא. But the Ashkenazim, it's paskin doesn't want to Rabbi Shulchan Aruch and Simiyud Zayin and the laws of lulav and esrik that they could make a bracha. Now regarding actual tzitzis, there are more paskins that they should not put on tzitzis because there's another shaila of the yilbash gever. The yilbash a lady shouldn't put on simlas gever. So that's another issue. But we have the Rambam says you can't make v'tzivonu. We have the Ravid here. The Ravid says that you can make a bracha. And he brings a fascinating raya from Gemara. If you say that someone is not mitzuvah, can't make a brocha, Gemara says about Rabbi Yosef. First he said, whoever tell me it's a mitzvah, that a summa is chayiv b'mitzvahs, I would make a big suda. And then he said, if someone tells me Summa is spotted, then I'll make a big suda. Because I'm not mechuyev, and still I'm doing the mitzvahs. Question is asked, Zok the Ravid, if he was losing the brocha, even though he's getting bigger schar, he wouldn't make a big yom. Shma mi no, that you could make a brocha. Because or else he wouldn't make a suda. Darf man verstehen, what's the machlekes of the Rambam and the Ravid? If ladies could make a brocha on the tzitzis, even though they're not mitzvah. So there's many achreinim. Miyusid and a Mogen Avrom, Simon Reish Tesvov. The Rambam learns that saying Hashem's name in vain, saying a brocha levatola is an issa deiraisa from leisiso Hashem lekechal Hashem. If it's an issa deiraisa, then it's understood the machlekes of the Rambam and the Ravid. The Rambam learns that saying Shem Shemayim levatola is an issa deiraisa. Therefore, he holds there's no room to be makil that someone's not chayiv should make a bracha. You don't play around with the deiraisa of leisisa Hashem lekechal Hashem. But the Ravid learns that it's not a isa deiraisa because they're making a bracha with a purpose. You can't say it's a isa deiraisa. So it's only merely an isa derabbanon. In such a case, you could say that the Rabbanan were not geizer, b'mokim, that he means it and he's doing it purposefully to do a mitzvah. So it's not b'shas, it's ha'isur de Rabbanan. You could say it's okay, because the isur is not in a place where he's doing something in a useful way. There's a beautiful tshuva, a very long tshuva of the Tzemach Tzedek in the Chelek of Erech Chaim. Siman Gimel. The Tzemach Tzedek brings this biur that the machlekes of the Rambam and the Ravid is what's the iser of Bracha levatol. And he brings that be'emes, there's a machlekes of the Mogen Avram we mentioned in Siman Reish Tezvav, where the Mogen Avram learns that the Rambam says that a bracha she'eina tzricha is also min ha'teira midrabanan, but he brings there's an al yirabah in the Rambam that says that Rambam also learns it's the Rabban. The Tzemach Tzedek brings that it's a stira we find in this machlekes of the Mogen Avram and the Al Yerabah in the Shita of the Rambam, whether it's a Isur Deiraisa or a Isur D'Rabbanan, we find that it's a stira in the Tshuvas of Rambam. In one place, there's a Shaila in Hilchas Milah that the Chachmei Lunil asked the Rambam, why don't you make a bracha on someone who's an androgynous, even though he's a sophic? And there's a Arichas Loshen Rambam, and the Rambam says that it's an Isur D'Rabbanan, and Heimo Amru, V'Heimo Amru, and they say by a suffix you don't bench. But in the Tshuva, he writes in the Tshuva, there's Tshuva Simich of Vov, where he writes it's Isur D'Rabbanan, but in the Tshuva Simich of Hey, he writes the Isur De'Raisahu. It's a Isur De'Raisa, Shenoisi Shem Shomayim Levatola. So this machlekes of the Mogen Avram and the Al Yerabah Pshat in Rambam, you find man astira in the Tshuvas of Rambam, in the Pe'er Hader, in Simich Vov to Simich Kufhei. Be that as it may be, what would be the hasbora in the Shita of the Rambam if the Rambam also learns it's Isur D'Rabbanan? Why would he say that even by an Isur D'Rabbanan, ladies can't make a bracha? So the Tzemach Tzedek gives a very geschmack beer. He says that it's an Isur D'Rabbanan, but we find a very interesting machlekes. Machlekes in the Tanoim von Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon. If a lady could make smicha, what's smicha? If you take your two hands, you put it on the animal, the chol koichoy, you lean on it, and you're mizvada, and that's a chiyuv. The korban needs to have smicha. Shaila is, could ladies do smicha? What's the shaila? What's wrong to let them do smicha? It's a nice thing to do. Shaila is, if they're not chayiv in smicha, then you're doing avodah with an animal of kotshim. So the Gemara says, Akfu yodaichu. The ladies could do smicha, but they just put their hands gently. They don't fully lean. Now that's an Issa D'Rabbanan, because it's not real avoida. You're just putting your hands on it. You're not leaning on it. Leaning on it would render an avoida. Nevertheless, the Rambam paskins in Hilchos Ma'aser Korbanos, Beiri Gimel Halacha Ches, he paskins like Rabbi Yehuda that a lady can't even do a D'Rabbanan, a Isser Avoida D'Rabbanan. So he holds that even by an Isser D'Rabbanan, it's a stronger Isser. The Isser D'Rabbanan is a strong Isser, and they shouldn't make the Bracha. But the other Rishonim will learn, like Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon, that the ladies could make smicha. So we see here that even if the Rambam says that it's an Issa D'Rabbanan for saying a Bracha She'eina Tzricha, nevertheless is machmir. The way that Tzemach Tzedek explains it. Nevertheless, he's machmir not to say and not to make a brocha. So you see how important the Rambam, even though it's a Issa D'Rabbanan, the Rambam writes, it's brought on Shulchan Aruch, that is saying a brocha she'eina tzricha, you're mechuyev nidui. And the Rambam writes, if a person hears a brocha she'eina tzricha, and he's not menade him, then the person that hears it is chayav ben nidui. Akoponim, it's a very serious thing. But lahalocha, we paskin that it's okay for them to bench, because it's not a bracha she'eina tzricha. It's not saying Hashem's name carelessly. There's a chiyuv to Am Yisrael, tzivonu, Am Yisrael, where the shakla v'tarya is brought. I just wanted to bring out this shakla v'tarya. If the Rambam holds that a bracha she'eina tzricha is a deraisa or a derabonon, and we should realize when we're making a brocha to have kavona, to think that you're taka benching the Rebishter to make it a brocha tzricha, and everyone should have a wonderful day.